creative.
Ooh, is it my turn now?
And now it's time to start the show.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Winston Ward.
And your girl Ash Slays here with the Rise of the Creative Podcast Quarantine Edition.
And we are back with another one.
Another one.
Oh man, what is this? What is this quarantine episode number 10?
I think it's like number 3.
Number 3. I was dragging it. I was definitely dragging it. And on this special quarantine episode, we have an amazing guest. Ashley, who do we have?
We have SOMU's very own Jvon Lawrence,
aka Mr. BX starting 5, aka Bishop, aka
remember it said Bishop.
I'm trying to get.
You got a whole lot of other ones.
Yes.
Oh man, but Jvon, thank you so much for coming on to the show. We appreciate you so much. We know that you just released a project, and we're definitely going to speak about that. But before we get into the episode, we always begin with the creative quotes. And because Ashley is scared, I'm going to read the creative quote today.
I'm not scared. You changed my quote.
I did change it.
Tell the truth to shame the devil.
That is true. Okay, so the creative quote of today is, when dreams die, as they sometimes do, when the plans you've made and when the things you've built just seem to fade, do not leave. It is not the end. That's by Ernest Hemingway. Jvon, how do you feel about that?
That spoke to me. That's like that's right here. You see, I pledge allegiance when you read it. About fading dreams and just kind of pushing through. So yeah, that kind of.
Definitely, man. I was definitely spot on. So yeah, let's take it all the way back to the beginning. When did your musical career begin?
A long time. If I start, I would be giving up my age, but it's relative. I want to say roughly, with a lot of stuff that's been going on in my career, I want to say I started in 2016 with my first project. Butterfly Effect, and that's when it kind of took a toll for me. It started right at that point, and I started taking my craft and my musical ability and the business seriously. So I want to say it started at 20. That's where I would really count it.
And what inspires you to create music?
Just the ability that God gives us as creatives. With me, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and I'm just a overall studio rat. So just the ability to write stories. As a kid, I started writing stories. My twin brother, I'm a twin. My twin brother was always drawing. He had the gift to draw, but also rap as well. But he was the inspirational piece for me. And then I think with the story writing and how I capture things, it just pushed me into rapping and everything. So yeah.
I love that. How would you I feel like you touched on it a little bit, but how would you describe your style of music, and what do you feel like it is about your style that makes you stand out?
The ability to paint a picture. I don't like to call myself a rapper. I like to call myself an artist, because that's what artists do. Artists paint pictures. And I feel like with my style, I like to call it reality rap. That's what I coined it as, reality rap, where I'm able to detail. I think with my ability of writing stories, I can kind of detail a vivid picture in audio form. So that's why I like to say I'm an artist, and that's what kind of represents, just giving you like an audio picture, audio portrait, so to speak. So, yeah.
With your past work, you just created a EP. I'm not even call it EP. Your single, America, 3Ks, because that's very important. Would you consider yourself a conscious artist?
Yes. with the term reality rap, I'm able to kind of tap into so many different creative bags. It's funny because when I was in album making mode, I feel like I was kind of locked in, and I happened to finish it right around the time quarantine happened. So I kind of bunkered myself into this level of creativity to kind of finish the job. But when I woke up, it's kind of felt like the world was on fire. And so with my ability to kind of just capture things, I wanted to kind of talk about that. I want to thank Gerard Thompson with his album coming out, for him allowing me to get on the record. Gerard Thompson, Winston Ward, and Quincy Valentine, and they gave me this platform, and it was so easy to talk about it because it feels like when I woke up, it was all happening. George Floyd, the protests were just starting to happen, and it was just kind of innate. So I would say I'm a conscious rapper, yeah, so to speak.
And how has quarantine and recent protests, how has that affected your music?
Man, it's so funny with the album. It was kind of centered on one direction, but if it was happening around this time, it would have definitely rerouted me, because once again, like my mind, my eyes is like a recorder. You know, I can record things and I just input it into my level of creativity, into my writing, into just everything that I do. And coming off of one of the freestyle videos I did a couple of weeks ago, it was a special request, but it was well needed for me to kind of push. So I think that if this happened around the time where I wasn't, done with the album, it would have rerouted my whole direction and start talking about more innate things,
Now, do you feel like more Black creators should speak up about certain things? What is keeping you motivated during this time to actually speak about it?
I think if you have the ability, like we do, because mind you, we have a whole palette of artists that do different things, and that's all welcome. If you want to make fun music, yeah, we need that at a time. But if you have the ability to be a conscious artist and say the things like maybe the way I can say it, then you should do it. The things that kept me going is just like I said, knowing my ability, knowing the gift that God has given me to say this in a creative way, and I need to say it. So I think that we should do that if you do have the ability, but make the music you want to make. You know what I mean? So I encourage that.
Dope.
Amazing. Now, I already know this answer, but I kind of want you to share your reasoning and who this person is. But who is your favorite rapper or favorite artist? Let's just say that, and why?
You better say Beyonce.
You might. That would be the right answer. Yeah.
Right.
It would throw me. I know it throws a lot of people off coming up. My favorite artist, weirdly so, was Twista. With the ability to rap fast. I had a affirmation for Chicago artists because they were so creative and double timed. So even though it's kind of blasphemous because I'm from New York, so and they say that my voice inflection sounds like Jay-Z. I did listen to a lot of Jay-Z, but yeah, like I know who the greats are, but my favorite is Twista, and he kind of influenced me to kind of be more lyrical and more like what he does. It's very hard, but you have to kind of make sure you hit the syllables. So Twista was my favorite artist coming up.
Nobody ever says Twista. Like I've never heard that before. That's like
You wanna
someone
know
saying
what-
Mystical. Like Mystical dope, but nobody thinks of him to be like my favorite, like or your favorite.
You want to know what
it.
this reminds me of? This kind of reminds me of Yohance when he said Ashanti, because we both were like,
yeah, what?
Ashanti?
And then you gotta think about it. Like I get it. I get how that could be somebody's favorite. Like I get it. I get Twista. He's a classic. Like there's not a Twista bop that you can't be like, nah, that's my shit.
My favorite. His first album was the best, but I feel like when he got with Kanye West and did slow jams, I was like, he figured
his collabs,
figured it out. He slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He made
I was definitely gonna say that.
And yeah, that was it. So so that's my favorite. But I got away from it. I used to do it a lot. I used to double time a lot, but I do it preferably here and there, but not a lot. But Twista is my favorite. He pushed me to
So
be creative.
if you could collab with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Any artist dead or alive? Alive right now, I feel like my music would be put right. We would make dope music. I think Kendrick Lamar. I think as far as like level of creativity, I think if you put us in the studio, we can make magic happen. Dead, I think because of what we just spoke about and the fact that I'm getting better creatively to express these type of racial and political things, I think Tupac Shakur. I think doing a record with Tupac Shakur, specifically even with the record that's about to come out, America's Karma, it would be so on point. So, yeah. So Kendrick Lamar, rest in peace.
That's crazy. Imagine all three of y'all on one record though.
Right?
Can we add Twist? Nah.
That's a random ass combination.
Not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it.
Random ass combination, like Twisted Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, and first of all, Twisted and Tupac is like two totally different sides of the spectrum.
Beyonce.
Now you dragging it. Now you dragging it. Beyonce Twisted Tupac, Kendrick Lamar.
Ashley's about to be like, you on to something now. You on to something.
Wait a second.
Oh, man. Okay. I kind of want to speak about something a little bit more serious. It doesn't have to get in depth or serious if you don't want it to be. But how has your life personally influenced your music?
Man, I come from a super duper uber religious background. I was telling a friend of mine, because my father's a pastor, my mom's an evangelist.
Hey,
so
PK.
I used to have to sneak around and exactly. We used to have to sneak around and listen to music. You know, it wasn't until honestly maybe somewhere between middle high school, sophomore year is when my father kind of started to loosen the belt a little bit, and I had to rush. I had to rush all of like the classics, but I still wrote and still craft and whatnot. You know, what the whoa? Okay, yeah, I still stayed on my craft. I still wrote. So it influenced me. It pushed me creatively because, like, through all circumstances, and I had to deal with a lot. You know, going to church. You know, I was one of those like Sunday, forget it. You know, there's no football, no nothing. So
only church.
So and then also at the you know, and then living up to the expectations of you know, just following after my father. So like to continue my craft and I got better because you know I learned to replace certain things with certain words with other things and learn how to express myself in different ways. You know what I mean? So you know, it helped me. You know, if I could do it all over again, I'd probably do it the same way. You know, so it helped me create to kind of go through all those cycles.
So do you feel like the diligence and discipline that you have to have growing up in church gave you diligence and discipline to create music?
Yes. Just you know, being in the choir and everything, and the level of practice that it took. Yeah, you know, and I'm not a singer. I never had a solo, but you know, they put me so but no, but the days that we practice on, let's say Wednesdays or whatnot, and being there, like the discipline. I used to love being around the music, no matter what it was, whether it be the gospel or anything, you know. So the discipline shaped me. It shaped me as an artist today.
That's so fire, man.
So, I'm a PK too. Same exact makeup. Mom's an evangelist, dad's a pastor, so I know we here. I know. I feel it. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I wasn't doing nothing but in church. I know.
Exactly. and then my long-winded. My father's a long-winded pastor.
I'm gonna send you the link to my dad's podcast because we have my dad on the podcast. I'm gonna send you the link. It's like 4 hours long.
My father's favorite line. So before the benediction, I'm like, you said that like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, I'm closing, but go to chapter. I'm like, bro, you said you closing. I'm wild hungry. Like, come on. I know. Trust me. I know. You preaching to the choir. I know. Happy Father's Day. Like, bringing up fathers.
Yes.
I know.
Nah.
Oh, my daddy long-winded. Woo! Give me flashbacks.
So, Jvon, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Would you rather never be able to rap or sing ever again, but still be able to write? Or would you write your own work, but never be able to rap again?
I'm going to go with the first option because I think that because I know how to write stories, I can kind of, because that's one of my dreams too. As far as, and this is a kind of remix to the question that you asked earlier, as far as like my favorite artist, but which is Twister. But the person that I followed after mostly was Diddy. Like I just wanted to see how Diddy moved as a businessman, but not the bad part. So I would take the first option because I know how to write and I can write for other artists, you know. So yeah, we'll go with the first one.
That's fine. That is fine. That's usually the general consensus, though. Like,
yeah, that is. Oh man, I want to debunk the system, man. Oh man.
No, man. If you would have been like, "Fuck right, man," I'll just sing, man. I
Right.
just rap, you know?
Yeah. Most people say they're right. They're right. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. All right. So let's. Okay, Ashley, go ahead.
No, I wanted to bring it back to your latest project, A Faded Dream.
Yeah.
And tell us the creative process behind A Faded Dream.
The creative process around it was, it's real easy to kind of write the story because it's a story of my life. And I just had to find creative ways. And I think upon meeting, Winston Ward and Quincy, who executive produced the album, I told them about this idea that I had, and I wanted to complete the trilogy. So the creative process was, how can I say everything I can say in which I said in the other two albums, because I have an album in between, The Butterfly Effect. How can I wrap this story up? Because the story in itself is about a father. I like, my thing is, I want to speak for fathers who are not in their son's life, who are trying to be in their son's life. And, that narrative is never really spoken, and I want to be the kind of voice for that. But in the same time, I want to give like a whole complete package on just creativity, but also tell a story. So the creative process, it was rough, but it was easy kind of working with the team that I was working with. And they helped me every step of the way. It got really rough because the first song, which I did, was called Onward. And it was I never told anybody, but I was really ready to just leave it. And that's a song that's talking about listening to your heart and your mind and pushing forward. But I was ready to just, like, day one, I'm like, nah, I'm done. So, yeah, and I just kept working through. So, yeah, it was easy to kind of do the process, but it was rough at the same time because I had to deal with a lot. So,
I'm sorry, I got a scam call in the middle of in the middle of our Zoom. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good.
no.
So What has changed for you musically since joining Sounds of Music University?
So
The
rude.
riches. The riches. No, I just love being with this team. I was kind of like mirroring, like, I think, being around the process of Winston Ward's creative album really pushed me, and just meeting everybody within the team, from Quincy to Ashley, and even like sitting in maybe from outside watching the Rise of the Creative podcast, it just showed me this big organization of creativity. Everybody individually is just a beacon, like a light. And I know for me, being around it, I kind of siphon the way I spark myself is I siphon energy from everybody. It's kind of like siphoning gas. That's what I do. So I watch it great, and I just take that and I just use that. So it changed for me because it just sparked this light. So now I'm currently doing these quarantine sounds. I'm putting my art out every week, letting everybody know just how good I am, talented and whatnot, and just keeping it going. So it really sparked something in me. So that's what SOMU did for me. It really just brought that hunger out, that lion out. That's what I'm.
Fact. There you go. So yeah, what's next for you? Like, what are you working on currently? I mean, I know you just wrapped your album. Like, are you gonna continue Quarantine Sounds? Like, what's next for you?
A whole lot. Mr. Ward and I, we got something like cooking up. Something that's like, so it's at 350. It's in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for projects, it's so funny. I came into the team, and I told my boss, I said, yeah, I'm only doing one. He said, no, you're not.
One.
And so, one. I really said that, actually. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm just doing one. But it's a whole lot in store. Stuff with my good friend Gerard, and Quincy and everybody. So just kind of watching everybody do their thing is gonna make me just keep going in the studio, keep doing creative stuff behind the scenes. Also, just working with younger artists too, and that's another thing that I want to do. That's what it comes from. Working with other artists. But right now, for me, yeah, it's more music, more content. Content is king. I just did like a whole thing the other day where I just saw what I did in 3 months, and I never really sit back and like pat myself on the back. I'm just not that person. I just look at it like, okay, I did it, but I had to sit back and really think, and that's what SOMU did for me. And the only way I can kind of give back is keep doing my thing for the team.
That's fact, bro. That's fact. So now we're up to Ashley's favorite part.
Okay.
Before we wrap, my favorite segment is called Rapid Fire Questions. You know what? I should have a bullhorn or something, but
thankfully you don't.
These are rapid fire questions. You
have
We did not send you, so you don't know about these.
Okay,
you have 2 seconds to answer. Okay, I know we're all a little bit digitally behind because we're all at separate locations, but try to answer as fast as you can. Okay.
Chico, that's 4 seconds for me.
Right. So, as soon as you hear me stop, you answer the question. All right. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Okay. Never rap again or never write?
Never rap again.
Never create another conscious song and make millions, or awaken your people and be broke?
Awaken my people and be broke.
Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Would you go back in history and make changes or go straight to the future?
Whew. 4 seconds. Go back to the future. I mean, go to the future.
what would your occupation be if you couldn't do anything music related?
Teaching.
Mm.
Teaching.
That's the first.
That is a first.
Now, another question that's not on here that we ask all of our guests. What is your secret talent?
I forgot about that.
What is my
Yeah, your secret talent.
Okay, so I've been masquerading the whole time. Like I really can sing.
That's not. I mean, does nobody
technically
know?
No. Technically, that's not a secret talent because you sang on your project. So.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
Like Winston can hula hoop. Nobody knows that.
Secret talent.
He didn't catch that. He didn't catch that.
It's funny. Everything is centered for me around music, but I would say, okay. Look, my second passion is basketball. I am a really, really good shooter. Yeah. Everybody wants to play.
I don't know, man. I got some footage on my computer right now that's different.
Listen, I'm as a warm up. So just I was with my brother. It's really good. My brother is really good, but yeah, just my basketball knowledge. I would say that. Just my basketball knowledge, and we'll leave it at that. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, Jvon, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing a little piece of your story, sharing about a fading dream, and you sharing as much as you did. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Jvon Lawrence. Everything is Jvon Lawrence, JVON LAWRENCE. So just keep it one word. Instagram. I'm getting heavy on Twitter. So for those that have Twitter, please hit me up on Twitter. But mostly on Facebook and then other social media platforms that come up. I'm making myself super aware to the climate. But mostly Instagram, hit me. And for collaborations, hit me on that too. Or you can hit, Sounds of Music, and we'll just put it together. Yeah.
That is fire. And you can follow me on Instagram at Winston Ward Music. I was about to say the R&B student, but that you can follow the R&B student on Twitter though, because it's on Twitter for now. So the R&B student on Twitter. And obviously Winston Ward Music on Instagram. And Ashley, where can they find you?
You can find me on my Instagram at @Ash_Slays, ASH_SLAYSS. I don't do Twitter, but you can also follow my hashtag at Big Girls Don't Take Full Body Pics. It's the hat. Okay. It's the hat that made me do this.
And you can also follow the podcast on Instagram at Rise of the Creative NYC. Yeah, that's it. Rise of the Creative NYC. Thank you guys so much for listening. Jvon, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Are out.
Rise of the Creator.
Wait, what about now?
All right. Maybe the next show.